Morning, twinnies. All right, let's see. This is wrong. One sec. Let's see what is going on in the collective today. Okay. Let me just say, yesterday's reading absolutely came true for me. I spent the whole night just purging through so many triggers, and what I got out of this was that I have trust issues with myself, which causes me to have trust issues with my divine masculine. And it's from the deepest depths of my abandonment wound with my own father. Even though me and my father are on great terms now, the shock of having him leave the day he left was obviously too much for my 10-year-old self to handle, and subconsciously it has created this deep fear that as soon as I allow myself to go deeper with somebody, to love someone completely, wholly, entirely, I don't think I've allowed myself to love my masculine that deep yet. And I don't think he has allowed himself to love me that way yet. In the beginning, we might have touched on that. But somehow, subconsciously along the duration of the last 2 years, I think both of us had retreated to a more surface level love. And we had been trying to love surface level wise each other for the past 1.5 years, and it's not working. The divine is saying you cannot get what you are both wanting and what you are both craving from this space. I can see exactly how my partner, how my masculine has been loving me safely, how I have been loving him safely. And we're both not getting what we want from the other person because we both don't feel safe enough to be completely vulnerable. And a download I got yesterday was vulnerability isn't just opening your heart. Vulnerability, the definition of being vulnerable is putting yourself at risk of being hurt. It's putting yourself at risk of being hurt. It's loving unconditionally, even though they could leave, even though they could cheat on you, even though they could hurt you deeply and immensely. And that is a reality that I have been putting off for the last 1.5 years. And it's a reality that I have just been telling myself, don't think about that. Why would you think about that? And the message here isn't to think about it, but it's to choose love anyway. That is what this journey is asking of you, divine feminine, divine masculine. It's asking you to choose love entirely. And the second that you do, your masculine does too, because it creates a shift. It shifts something. And I'm not there yet, but it's baby steps every single day. I will find a way to choose love, even in the face of triggers, even in the face of fear, even in the face of my PTSD and my brain making me suspect something. I will choose to love my divine masculine unconditionally, even if it gets to a point. I will put myself in a position which is loving unconditionally, that he could potentially hurt me. And you know what this is? Visually, this is taking that armor off and trusting yourself to let yourself trust them. Choosing love anyway. That is the message here today. And I just wanted to share that. That's so vulnerable of me to share that, but I just had to, because this whole yesterday, that realization as I was drifting off to sleep gave me a whole new definition to the twin flame journey. I want to see what the Divine Masculine has to say about all this. And it's not just about you putting yourself in the hands of being inevitably hurt. That's not what this is. Because funnily enough, as soon as we do that, as soon as we choose that, as soon as we love them unconditionally, that's what it means to love unconditionally. To put yourself in the line of fire and trust that the other person won't accidentally shoot you, or that's probably a bad analogy. Trust that they won't accidentally hurt you. Or on purpose. Because in your mind you might think that you can't trust yourself because you've been wrong about other people in the past. You might feel like you are naive and you don't want to put yourself in a position where you are being naive. But when it comes to a true twin flame, and this isn't about like accepting abuse or anything like that, because your twin flame will not abuse you. So if you're being abused, or if your person has abusive tendencies toward you, they are not your twin. But this is for those people who, this is what is separating you from grounding physical union, or going deep. If you're already in physical union, going deeper with your person. Okay, all right, let's see what the Divine Masculine wants. Okay, that just came out twice. 4 of Cups. Yeah, you haven't seen this for a while because of the pain, because of the hurt. You've been avoiding this truth subconsciously. It's been there knocking on your door. If you want more from me, you have to allow me to go deeper. You have to allow me in enough to go deep. I can't give you what you're asking for if you're not willing to accept it. And being willing to accept it means allowing yourself to be put in a vulnerable position by yourself, not by them, but by you. And the pain of the past and the hurt and the trauma and the abandonment wound has stopped that from happening. And the Divine Masculine is wanting you to know that it is both of you who are in this position. It's not just one of you. And your conditioning has you thinking that you're putting yourself at risk. They're putting themselves at risk too. That is what this journey is calling for. Not so that the divine can... It's not so that, you put yourself in a vulnerable position where you allow yourself to love your Divine Masculine or your Divine Feminine, your counterpart completely. That as soon as you do, you are laughed at by the universe, and then it's like, okay, well, now we're going to take it away. Now we're going to take the rug from under you. That's not what this is about. And the reason that, if you're resonating with this, the reason that this wound is here is because, well, for me, the only person that I have loved unconditionally was my father, and he left. He left, and it wasn't about me. He didn't leave me. That was his own path, and it was his own story that he had to fulfill. What came after that he didn't stay away because he chose to. He stayed away because somebody kept him from me. Someone that I trusted kept him from me and my sister. And in my 10, 11-year-old subconscious, the dots that I connected subconsciously, this is not me as a 10 or 11-year-old mastermind knowing what's going on. My subconscious put the dots together and I had no idea that Dad wanted to leave. You don't at that age. One day your parent just up and leaves. For those of you who have experienced that. And to me, my life changed in one afternoon or one night. My life completely changed. And the next 13 years were absolute hell for me. There's 13 years of wounding here, 13 years worth of coping mechanism, 13 years worth of loving only on a surface level. And the last person that I have loved unconditionally is my dad. And I still love him on a surface level because of what happened. And it was never his fault. He didn't do this to me. But yeah, the Emperor. This is healing the Divine Masculine. The Divine Masculine is asking to be healed here within you. That is the only way that you can receive the Divine Masculine, if you're resonating with this. There is a new way that has opened up. There is a new path, a new life, a new love. You guys haven't even touched the surface. Well, you guys have only just touched the surface together of the love that you share. The love that is between you and your masculine. And for I would say the last year, the Divine has been urging you toward going deeper. And you've heard that call. You've wanted to be deeper and you've wanted to feel more connected with your masculine. But your wounding hasn't allowed you. So now that you're aware of what this wounding is, and now that you're aware of how you haven't been vulnerable, you haven't been open to the extent that you thought you needed to be, now you can choose differently. Now you can start choosing love, no matter the cost, if that's worth it to you. For some of you, it won't be your path. For others of you, you know that this is what you need to do in this lifetime. For a lot of you, I just heard as I was getting ready for this next video, I heard the Divine Masculine saying, I've been waiting for you. And you've been waiting for me, and I haven't been able to meet you at the level that you have been desiring, or that you felt that we are supposed to be meeting each other at. Because you weren't ready to receive me that way. You weren't aware of what was going on, and now you are. What else, Divine Masculine? What else do you want Divine Feminines who are going through this right now with us? What do you want them to know? 3 of Cups, 10 of Cups. This 10 of Cups kept coming up for me yesterday amidst my mental breakdown. And I was so confused because my wounding was telling me that the triggers I was facing yesterday or last night, that I had to prepare myself. That these were all warning signs, that I had to prepare myself for it to be over and I had to prepare myself to leave. And it was not telling me any of that. It was urging me to acknowledge the triggers and still choose him anyway. And to, more importantly, to choose to trust myself. I can trust myself to be in this connection. I can trust myself to be in this relationship. I don't have to do anything that my body is telling me to do. And for a lot of us who have dealt with a lot of trauma, and you know, for those of us who have complex trauma, complex PTSD, our intuition doesn't exist in those moments where we are extremely triggered. We can't access that because our body is traumatized, our brain is traumatized, and it is telling our body that we are unsafe. So we can't trust our body in those moments. And that's okay, but we have to know that that's what's happening. But 10 of Cups, 3 of Cups, this is beautiful reunion. This is reunion energy. The bliss and the happiness that you are craving to experience with your masculine. It's here if you choose them. It's here if you choose that. If you choose them, if you choose that. And they will be able to choose. As you choose, they choose too. Why? Because you are one. You share the same frequency, just in separate bodies. That's how this works. And a lot of people don't realize that. Okay, so we've got the Devil here. Look at this. This is both of you looking at each other completely vulnerably. This is vulnerability. And this is what the Devil teaches. The devil teaches vulnerability so that fear can be overcome. The cure to fear is vulnerability, because vulnerability is bravery. On this twin flame journey, I'm hearing my divine masculine literally telling me this right now. On this twin flame journey, divine feminines and divine masculines, if you're watching this, because I feel like this is there could be divine masculines watching this too. So divine counterpart, on this journey, choosing love every single day, choosing to love no matter what comes up, that is how you get the most out of this connection. And I know in the past, choosing love meant that you get hurt, but this is different. This is a different kind of love. This is you deciding to come back to yourself. That's what this is. Yes, it's happening through another person, but that other person is just as much you as you are just as much them. See how when you choose to trust the other person by being vulnerable, you simultaneously are trusting yourself. And when you choose to trust yourself, you're choosing to trust the other person. It's linked. It's one and the same. Page of Cups, Five of Swords. Where there has been separation, disconnect, pain, there is healing from that. You're to look at that through the eyes of curiosity. Any pain that you have experienced from your divine masculine or with your divine masculine, you are being asked by your divine masculine aspect of yourself, that's what they are, you're being asked to look at that with curiosity, not contempt, with gentleness, with understanding. Why? Okay, King of Cups, Queen of Cups, King of Cups, so that they can meet you. They can meet you there. Tell me more about that. Queen of Pentacles. Okay, so that is how you cultivate together this stability in this. It is how you ground this connection. And here's the thing, if you have felt that your divine masculine has let you down in some kind of way, yes, the reality of the situation, yes, they might have. But what you're being asked to look at is, and realize, for some of you, this won't resonate with everyone, but for some of you, what you're being asked to realize here is that is a complete reflection of how you have let yourself down in this connection. And that feels like a harsh message, but the energy I'm getting from that isn't. For those of you who that message was for specifically, you will have heard that and go, yes, that's true. Oh my God, I get it. And it has also been, that situation had been cultivated by you, your higher self, in order to push you to love deeper, to choose to go deeper. Otherwise, you guys we would have just had a surface level connection. Three of Pentacles, yeah. It's been a team effort this whole time, guys. Look at this. The Two of Cups flew out as soon as the Three of Pentacles came out. It's been a team effort this whole time, even if you haven't realized it, Divine Feminine. Divine Masculine is asking you to recognize that. You trigger each other, but from your end, they trigger you. And the trigger has sort of felt detrimental. The triggers have felt like warning signs. They've felt like red flags, and they're not. And you're realizing that for the first time, I think. Page of Wands, what's this? Ace of Swords, Two of Swords. Yeah, okay. So it's exactly what you've needed to realize this. Remember how yesterday we had the Two of Swords? And there was a decision or something that you couldn't reconcile or something you didn't understand? Well, now, today, you have the clarity after whatever you went through yesterday or whatever you're going through today, this Cancer new moon is bringing you. This is exactly the token that you have needed in order to understand what is required of you, from you, to go deeper with your divine masculine. What is next? What is required here to choose love? I think I'm going to leave it there. What you're being asked of yourself and your twin